Okay, so that's good. So what we're understanding is most of us want to understand how AI is changing product tech and business roles, and personally want to understand how AI skills matter for your career. And you also want to understand what practical insights you can apply to learning those skills, and some guidance on preparing for future roles and general understanding of AI trends. Yeah, you can see the poll, and we'll end the poll in just a minute. Pali, how many participants we have? 52? How many?
So till now it's 69. We'll just start in next 2 minutes.
So 69,
It's
52 have
70.
taken the poll.
Yeah.
Which is so about can those who have not taken the poll please take it, and then we'll start. Yeah. So the top two things are understanding how AI is changing product, tech, and business roles, and clarity on which AI skills matter for your career, and simultaneously your practical insights that you can apply. So that's what we'll focus on today. With that, Dipali, you can end the poll and we can start, right?
Sure, sir. I would request all the participants to turn on their cameras and make the session more interactive and engaging. Also, once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, which is hosted by Board Infinity. So, as we know, we are living in the time where AI is moving very rapidly, from early testing and trials to real world use cases. And it's no longer just about automating tasks, it's reshaping how products are built, systems are designed, and decisions are made across roles and across organizations. To help you understand this shift in a practical way, we have today joined by our speaker who work closely with AI systems and real world environment. So it's my pleasure to introduce Vikram Bansal sir, who is a Chief AI Officer at Tekolutions.ai, where he works on building and deploying AI solutions at scale. His work focuses on intelligent AI systems, data driven decision making, and modern AI based system design, with a strong focus on practical application rather than just theory. So, in today's webinar, we'll be learning how AI is changing role across product engineering and business, what skills are becoming really very important and critical, and how professionals and students can prepare for their AI driven future beyond just learning tools. So, yeah, we are excited to have you with us, sir. Over to you, Vikram, sir.
Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay.
Also, one more
Just
thing, those participants who have any questions, they can box is open. They can message over the chat box, or else after the session ends, they can directly ask their question to Vikram sir. Thank you. Yes, sir, we can start.
just a minute. I need to adjust my screen a little bit. Uh, So, welcome, good evening. I'm Vikram Bansal, and like Deepali said, I'm the Chief AI Officer at Tekolutions.ai. We are a firm which offers solutions around AI. Now, the topic of today's session is on front of you: beyond automation, practical AI, skills for product, tech, and business, carriers to win the future. So, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to educate, understand, and discuss how AI will shift the corporate world across several business functions, namely product, tech, and business. And once it shifts, the skills expected from those roles will also shift, are also shifting, and have already shifted. And what are those skills then? How do we upgrade ourselves so that we remain relevant in the world, which is rapidly changing, right? So, with that, we have taken a poll, but I want you to describe yourself in 3 words by scanning this QR code so that we get a better understanding about your background and what you do. So you can say I'm a AI engineer, you can say I work in product or you work on business. So you understand that here. And there will be a word cloud here. So we'll get understanding about the domain mix and what you're doing here. Okay. Please go ahead and type. You can go to slido.com and enter the code, or you can scan the QR code here on the screen. Economist. Okay. IT engineer. The logistics age. Trust support, undergraduate student, economist. Oh, we have a doctor, AI enthusiast. Okay. Infra support, patients engineer, data engineer. Very good. I would encourage everybody to type something there. Integration engineer, curious, creative, confused. Digital marketer, yeah. MBA student, junior software developer, data management, BTech student final year. Yeah. So there's a good mix of people here. HR. Deepali, does it also allow you to write on the screen? Some I can see some people are writing there. How does that work? Oh, that's gone.
Yes, I have closed that option.
Yeah. Okay. Logistics, Sage, Biotech, QS, economist, MBA student, data management, backend developer student, SAP functional. Okay. Tech learner, looking for startup, engineering student, efficiency. So we have had 28 responses. We'll just keep it another 10-15 seconds and we'll end this. मैं PM हूँ. मोबाइल ऐप डेवलपर. ओके. इंटीग्रेशन इंजीनियर. डेटा इंजीनियर. बिजनेस एनालिस्ट. UX designer. Okay, DevOps expert. Logistics sage. Okay, so there's a fair amount of techies here. Some business people, medical doctors, some functional people like SAP functional, and UX designers, product managers are there, process analyst, data management, QA testing. Okay. All right. So that's good. That's a good. So we got a good understanding about audience. Then we'll go ahead with that understanding. Should I go ahead, Dipali?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the session objectives. Uh, so we went over some of these things already. So we just don't want to talk about AI as a buzzword, but to give you some practical, actionable insights you can use to stay ahead in your field. By end of this session, you should be able to understand the shift from traditional automation to intelligent orchestration and what we call AI super agency. Right? Automation has been practiced for a long time, but here it is about intelligent orchestration. So what is this? This is about moving from simple automation to systems that can coordinate, adapt, and make decisions. Right? So that's a AI super agency. And we'll explain what agent-driven systems are, right? Agent-driven systems, and why they're changing the way products are built. We'll look at real-world examples and discuss how these systems go beyond just automating tasks. Then we'll describe about how engineers need to think differently about architecture, reliability, and validation when building AI systems. There's a lot of techies here, so we'll cover that. So it's not just about making things work, it's about making them robust, safe, and trustworthy. Now, for business people, we'll see how businesses are leveraging AI for decision intelligence, not just for generating reports. The focus is on using AI to drive better decisions and outcomes, not just to summarize data, right? So basically, how businesses are using data to drive decisions, not just create some kind of fancy report and just stay there, but you have to use that actually. And then we'll see how governance and trust. Governance means how you govern this AI. It's just going, it should not go rogue and it should not violate some norms. It should not violate ethics and laws. So you have to build some AI which is trustworthy. So that is a key skill for product, business, and tech. So these are not nice to haves. They are essential. Anybody working on AI needs to know about this governance things, right? And then we'll map out some practical AI skills and learning paths that are relevant to product, technical, and business careers. And then we'll also discuss how to build your own roadmap. You need to how do you select your learning resources and plan real world projects, right? So with that objective, we'll go ahead. Now, why do we go beyond automation? See, traditional automation was all about scripting fixed workflows and rules. The goal was to save time on repetitive tasks. We can think about macros in Excel or RPA, robotic process automation, which follows a set of instructions. It is just repetitive and boring. See, this approach was valuable, but it was limited. It could only handle what it was told to do explicitly. Now we are transitioning to modern AI. So modern AI systems are fundamentally different, right? They can perceive, reason, and act. perceive, reason, and act with autonomy, much more autonomy. Instead of just following the rules, modern AI can interpret data, make decisions, and adapt its actions based on new information. So, this is shifting how products and platforms and organizations operate. So, what is the opportunity here and what is the risk? Well, it does create its both opportunities and risks. So, the biggest risk is those who can design and govern AI systems are people who can understand how to build, validate, and manage these intelligence systems. But those who only use AI systems, they rely on pre-built solutions without understanding how they work or how to adapt to them. Right. So, so this is a risk with the widening gap between these two kinds of people. So, what's the message here? It in the future of work, it is not going to be enough to use just use AI tools. You need to develop practical AI capabilities that map to real world roles in product, tech, and business. The people who can design, build, and govern AI systems will be the ones who stay relevant, right? So you have to either design, build, or govern. Governance is there for everybody. So here's a quote: AI is no longer about tools. It's about who stays relevant and who gets replaced. AI is no longer about tools. It's about who stays relevant and who gets replaced. Okay. Any questions so far?
So, no question in the chat box till now.
Okay. Okay. So from automation to intelligent systems. So traditionally, what was automation? It was just using fixed rule-based scripts in a predefined structure, just predefined steps, once based on some structured inputs. Like it is like if X happens, then do Y. If Y happens, do Z. So this is a powerful approach for repetitive, predictable tasks, but it is limited when things get ambiguous or little messy, right? That's why this is we discussed earlier also. It is AI systems take us beyond just rigid scripts. It is intelligent orchestration. This AI coordinates data, tools, and agents. What does it do? What do that for? To achieve some high level goals. Right? What is the difference here? Is the presence of feedback loops. AI can adapt, personalize, and handle ambiguity, not just trigger the next step in the flow. Right? So this is AI intelligence, right? Some ambiguity can be handled. So from the product perspective, those who are in a product role, that means you have to design features that are just not just static features. You have to adapt features and adapt to any user needs like personalization, personalized experiences, and even try to resolve some uncertainty on the fly. You're trying to design a system that thinks and adjusts, not just executes a checklist. Okay. At the organization level, what is the impact? This intelligent orchestration, which we are talking about, it enables end-to-end journeys. Instead of isolated automations, you get systems that move from signal to decision to action. So you get a signal, you can take a decision, and from the decision to translate into action. And this process happens seamlessly. So this is a major shift from simply automating tasks to orchestrating outcomes. So what is the takeaway for us? We are professionals, right? So we want to stay relevant. So it's not enough to know how to call an API or AI API, for example, here, or use a tool once. Professionals need to understand how to design these orchestrations, how to connect data, tools, and agents, how to connect data, tools, and agents in such a way that they deliver real value. Okay. So this is a skill set that will set you apart as AI becomes more deeply embedded in your products and organizations. So you have to understand deeply actually what is going on and how to make use of it. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
So
In
let's dive a
between,
little deeper into the
yes,
world
sir,
of,
we can ask the participant to raise their hand if they have any questions in between as well.
yeah. Yeah, please raise your hands if there's any question. And Deepali, please alert me because I may not be
Sure.
able to
Yeah, yeah.
see
Yeah, I'll
because
let you
that
know.
screen is not in front of me. Like it's
Yes,
like the chat
definitely.
is not in front of me all the time, right?
Sure, sir, I'll
Yeah.
let you.
Yeah. Please raise your hands and Deepali will alert me and then we can take a question as and when there is. So to get a little bit deeper understanding, we'll go into um, what is generative AI, agentic AI, and AI agents. Now, we know what generative AI is, right? Generative AI is all the generative models were able to generate, like those the large language models and the multimodal LLMs, large language models, which are able to generate text, code, and images, videos, and etc. from prompts. So, what is an example of generating text? Um, I can ask him any question, like ask that AI any question, uh, and I can ask it to generate code, and I can ask it to generate images and videos. Text is about any decision making or any kind of response to any amount of text is what they have been trained on. So they have been trained on huge corpus of data, and they have been trained so that they act as a human would. So they give you a human-like response based on your question. So all that is known to everybody. That is generative AI, and that is what has taken off in the last 5 years and had led to the huge explosion in the AI market. Now, what is agentic AI? Agentic AI and AI agents took off after the generative AI revolution. So they use these LLMs, these generative AI models, plus tools, memory, and planning. Right. The planning aspects come from the LLM. The tool is something you connect to, and the decision aspect also comes from the generative AI. And this way, they are able to take actions autonomously. So generative AI is a capability, while agentic AI is a behavior pattern, which is goal-driven tool using and interactive over time. That is agentic AI. And what are AI agents? AI agents are practical building blocks. For example, customer service agent, workflow co-pilots, autonomous testing bots, etc. So these are AI agents which constitute the agentic AI. Uh, so they can observe an environment, plan, and act via tools and APIs to achieve your user or system goals. Right? Is that clear to anybody? Everybody, or any questions so far?
No
So how
question.
did we get to this agentic AI? Okay. Yes, somebody has a question. Yeah, please tell. Please type the question on the chat box. You can type it and we'll take it. Okay. So this agentic AI evolved in the following way. Earlier, there used to be these rule-based systems which are based on rules. Rules like in a language like Lisp. There are lists and there are rules in there. And that after that, there came these machine learning and predictive models based on regression, clustering, classification, those kinds of machine learning models. Then you had the the foundation models and LLMs, generative AI, like the likes of ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, and so forth. And more recently, we are having the growth in the agentic AI and agentic systems, which have multi-agent systems and orchestration of those multi-agents. So you have agents, and these agents will need to orchestrate and talk to each other, or orchestrate and communicate with each other. So those are multi-agent systems. Yeah, you can type the question on the chat and we will take it. Yeah. When you type it, I'll take it from there. So this is a typical agent loop. So you see what will agent do? It will observe user prompts, system events, and data from APIs. Then it will do planning. It will use an LLM to decide next steps. This LLM reasoning. Then it will act. For that acting, it will call tools, APIs, RPA bots, or write to systems. It will learn. It will update your memory, it will try to refine strategies based on outcomes. So this makes agents are stateful and adaptive and task oriented, right? Okay. So with that introduction about agentic AI, we're talking about agentic AI because all the growth is expected around agentic systems, and all of the roles are expected to be aligned according to that. So these are the AI careers demand and outlook. AI and machine learning roles are positions in the tech industry today. Not only these roles offer strong demand and high median pay, but they are also at the core of digital transformation across industries. This is a trend that is expected to accelerate in the coming months and years. That's why it's making AI expertise a powerful career asset, right? Because everybody's trying to learn AI here. That's the thing. Okay. That having said, now positions like AI engineer, machine learning engineer, data scientists have become foundational in many organizations. So who are these people? They are the people building the models, designing the data pipelines, and ensuring that AI systems are delivering real value. So these are the core in the uh, industry. So what is expected is that the growth of computing and information research projects, they are expected to outpace the average for all jobs over the next decade. That means there are more opportunities, more diverse roles, and a greater need for specialized skills. So, but along with that, there is not just the core builders, there is the rapid growth in adjacent roles, such as AI product managers, AI focused data analysts, and business intelligence developers. So, these developers or these professionals, they are bridging the gap between technical AI capabilities and business outcome, applying the AI outputs to real world decision. So, they are connecting the AI to business value. So the common thread across all these roles is the ability to connect AI capabilities to concrete business value. Because organizations are not just looking for people who can build models. They need professionals who can translate these models into better products, smarter decisions, and measurable impact. So we need to think and reflect where do you see yourself in this landscape. Are you more interested in building the technology, or are you interested in to solve the business problems, or are you interested in trying to bridge the gap between the two? we must remember here that the most successful AI professionals are those who connect technical skills with business needs. Okay, technical skills with business needs. That's where the most successful professionals are. Now, with that understanding, let's dive deeper into the subject matter. So, this is about product careers in an AI first world.
Sir, one question is there in the chat box.
Okay, let me look at it. Yeah.
A scenario where agentic AI can be used.
A scenario where agentic AI can be used. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's look at, say, HR function. Okay. Now, HR function is about, say, recruitment. Now, you can build an agent, which is a recruitment specialist. That doesn't mean it's going to give you a complete hiring on the fly, like automatically. That means the human will be involved in this. Uh, so, what will this recruitment agent do? It will automatically scout all the websites where the jobs are posted, and it will automatically download the resume based on the input given by the HR manager. So HR manager will give, say, I want to have three machine learning engineers of 4-year experience, skilled in Python, skilled in developing LLM based chatbots. So they will give the JD, right? So all the websites, then it will download all the resumes there, download it automatically, because you can orchestrate an agent to download things like, so it will do the pattern matching and the AI based matching, get the resumes, and it will download the resume. Then that resume, of course, can be made available to the HR manager. Even before downloading, what it will try to do, send an email automatically to those people that your resume is shortlisted, and what is the available time for interview. And the HR manager calendar will be blocked because he has access, and the calendar of the candidate also is blocked automatically by an agent. Now there's no human involved here at all. Once the calendar is blocked, the HR manager will come. Okay, so many. Okay, I have been short. So many, five people are shortlisted now. I will go and see the. I will shortlist. I mean, I will interview the people at that time. He just has to go and interview. And if he likes it, then in the agentic system, he'll say, okay, go, schedule the next round of interview. That will be scheduled automatically. If he does not like the people, they will be rejected. Be sent automatically. Okay. And now the technical round happens, and before the technical round, the candidate is put through the automatic coding questions and automatic interview, like a technical screening. That is all automatically scheduled by the agent and already auto scored. And the reject or like passing emails are also sent. And then they are called for personal interview on a particular date, and they appear on that date without having had any major human interaction. Only one HR interview has happened. Then the technical interview happens, and they were passed or failed. Once they are passed, the offer letter is generated by the recruitment agent, and sent to the hiring manager for electronic signature. The signature is put, and the offer letter is sent. And this person will is now hired and is joined the organization. So as you can see, there is human interaction at various points. It's all controlled by humans. The whole process is set up by the humans, but it's all agent driven. Okay. I gave you a scenario where agents have been used. Okay. Does that help you? Acha, Dipali, I'm not able to see the questions myself. Huh? Although you read out the question, and I
Yeah,
don't see
yeah,
it in
sir.
the chat.
Yes, sir. One
Okay.
more question is there, very specific question. How do we apply this in flights and hotel booking systems?
Flight and hotel booking system. Okay. Um, so basically, if you want to book an hotel together, that is travel planning, some kind of travel planning, right? So the system will work in the similar way I described. So you have, let's say here, let's go back one slide. Okay. So you have to observe your inputs here. You have to observe the input is from the user. So user will have to give the input when he wants to travel and where he wants to stay and what kind of hotel he wants to do. So that will be an input based on which you have to decide what to do. The agent will have to decide what to do, right? So it has to connect. First of all, it has to make a plan. Planning and reasoning will happen using the LLM. For example, if the what kind of person it is, what kind of hotel he will need, that has to be decided. Based on that, you decide, say he needs now a five-star hotel. When the input comes from the reasoning that a five-star hotel is needed, and whether it's economy or business class, that decision will come from using the reasoning engine, which is the LLM. Then you have to connect to the relevant hotel and APIs and the flight APIs and make the booking. The agent can make the booking, but in payment it will get stuck because the OTP and everything will come to the person, the login. And so login can happen seamlessly, but the payment mechanisms may not be automated. So the OTP may come to the purchase manager. So he has to vet it and then approve that payment. Once it's approved, uh, then you can make the booking. It may happen that this is this plan is needs to be approved before finally making the booking. In which case, also the approval from the person who's traveling will be required. This is my plan. So it will do the actual booking. It will do the actual planning. But the approval in terms of this is my plan of hotels and this is my plan of a flight will have to be approved. The payment will have to be approved. As will be human in the loop, but it's doing all the work of making the booking. Hmm. That can be done. Today, everything has APIs. So these APIs will be connected. These tools are there. APIs are there. Tools are there. Tools is for acting or APIs for observing. So when you're acting, you connect to an API also, but that's here acting like a system or a tool to make the booking. When you use using observation API is basically you want to observe which flights and hotels are available. Then when you act, that's a tool to make the booking. That's also an API. So like that, the agent can do all these things, right? There are actually already agents available to book your Swiggy for food or something. All these things are there already. Okay. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ravi, now where were we? I think we. Okay. I think we saw this, right? Where were we? I forgot now. Dipali,
Sir,
where were we?
ninth,
Which slide?
ninth slide was going on. Page number 9.
Acha, 9, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
So, did we finish this slide 9 or no?
Sir,
We
we
finished.
finished this.
We finished this, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Product carriers. Yeah. Yeah. Product carriers is what we're talking about. So, what is a product carrier? That means you want to build a carrier in product management or product leadership. You have to define the product. You have to manage the product, right? So now a product leadership now means that AI will also be part of the product because AI is at the core of every major innovation. This means that the role of an AI product manager or product lead is evolving rapidly, and it's no longer about managing feature lists or roadmaps. The AI product manager defines how real user problems can be solved, how AI capabilities solve real problems using AI, right? That means you're not adding AI for the sake of it. You want to defining how AI can create real value, and then you have to set clear success metrics for those features. So AI has to add real value to the product, not just say, just added AI. Now it's become a buzzword. Okay, I'll add AI to the product mix so that I have greater valuation. but if it doesn't solve a problem, then it's pretty much useless. Right? You can add so many AI features to something which have no value. That's not going to help us necessarily, right? So, so unlike the traditional product roles are different, but you have to in this you have to frame your problem as flows and agent workflows, not just a set of features. Traditionally, it's just a set of features, this, but now it's a set of flows, right? So this shift is very crucial. Now you're designing how intelligent systems interact, make decisions, and adapt, right? Rather than just specifying what buttons or screens to build. It's an intelligent system, no? Right? So you must know if you are in product, you must know enough of machine learning, data pipelines, and experimentation to reason what is feasible, what is risky, and how to iterate quickly. If you don't know what machine learning is capable of, then you cannot design an AI system. You cannot define the features of an AI system. See, you don't need to be a data scientist, but you need to speak the same language and understand the constraints of AI. So you have to balance the priorities here. A big part of the job is balancing value and valuability with AI specific concerns. So that means you have to think about the bias, explainability, and alignment with company policy and regulations. What do you mean by this? Bias, explainability, and alignment with company policy and regulations. No, you may have bias. Company may say that they want this, they're biased that they want this feature. But is it going to work? Is it viable? Is it explainable? Explainable meaning the AI has to say that it is working and it has to explain the why it is working. This is about explainability. So that the AI is explainable, responsible, and trustworthy. That only has to be included. You can do very fancy things in an AI, but if it is not explainable, then what is the use of it? Right? For example, if I have a chatbot about medical diagnosis, then I can diagnose anything. But if it is not based on science, not no reasoning, the chatbot will just say, "I have a headache." If I say I have a headache, and it just says, "Okay, you might have a brain injury," that is just jumping to conclusion. There is no sound basis, no, for that, right? Somebody with a headache may have a brain injury. That's true, but there is no basis for that. So that means that it is not explainable. That means you have to not do create any feature which may sound very mind blowing, but is not explainable. So like that. So you have to make it trustworthy, viable, and have add real value there. Right? So what are the practical skills here? So you must be good at the product manager has to be good at problem framing the problem, designing the hypothesis. This is no this is a plausible scenario where this must be true, and then you design the metrics around that matter. Right. So, for example, the HR example we took earlier. So the problem has to be framed by the product manager. This is the problem. This is the people. This is the kind of people I want, and the hypothesis that if they satisfy this role, this job description 75%, and they do 90% on the test and 70% on the oral evaluation, then I will shortlist them. So this hypothesis design around what is of value to them has to be designed by the product manager, right? So you have to design the metrics, define the metrics what matter. Then you need to design the prompts and agent workflows. So all the agents will interact together and they'll be orchestrated. And the product manager has to understand and work with cross-functional teams, including engineers, data scientists, and business stakeholders. Because there will be different stakeholders for different parts of the system. They have to all work together. And if you are going to put human in the loop, of course, we are going to need human in the loop for these systems. So all these teams will be part of the human interaction required for these agents when they are built. So you have to communicate all these AI concepts to everybody who's accessible in an accessible way, an actionable way. So this leadership is also required here for this kind of role. Right? So now those who are considering product, careers in product, are you ready to move beyond managing features to orchestrating intelligent workflows? That's what you have to ask yourself. Are you prepared to lead teams where AI is not just a tool, but a core part of the product's value proposition? Right? So now you don't need to transition to these skills and mindset because AI product managers are uniquely powered, uniquely positioned to drive innovation. And they can ensure that AI delivers real and measurable impact for all the users and business people alike. Okay, any questions from the product managers here before we go ahead?
Yes, sir. One question is there. How do I learn
Okay,
how to build agentic AI systems as a product manager?
yeah. So, so basically, you see, that's exactly what we spoke about. So you need to design the flows and you have to work with all the stakeholders in there. So what are the stakeholders? Business side, technology side, and all the other stakeholders in terms of the tooling and everybody around. So all these have to be connected by you. You have to design a flow. You have to not to design a set of features. You have to design all the prompts which go into agent workflow. Prompt meaning, uh, like an LLM prompt. So then you have to lead the cross-functional teams, including engineers, data scientists, and business stakeholders. Create a system which collects all these people into one flow. It is like you have to imagine that some person is there who's going to create the handshake and connect everybody together, and it is going to be taking some decision on its own based on whatever input you are providing. Right? Some leeway you have to give the system. For example, you have, the system around ticketing and hotel booking we designed a few minutes ago. Right? In that, the systems has to know what is the intelligence you have to build in. For example, the ticket booking is very urgent and the approver is not available, but the decision in the prompt has been designed in such a way that if it is marked urgent, then you have to book it without human approval, the design. So light kind of prompting you have to design, and it may so happen that the person uh, prompts that no matter what happens, don't book it without my intervention. And then you have to just wait. The agent will just wait for the prompt, otherwise it will not. Right? So if you prompt it that you take a decision around something, then it has to use its own intelligence. How will it use the intelligence? It has to make a persona of the person based on past history or based on a persona you create for the person. So now, for whom am I booking a ticket? I'm booking for CEO. Okay. From based on past history, he has stayed in hotel X, Y, and Z. Okay, now I'm getting hotel X. That means that is good. No problem. He has stayed there. What are the reviews he made about that? Because the agent has recorded also the reviews. It has access to the data. Okay, the reviews are positive. For hotel Y, it is not so positive. That means I will choose hotel X. That reasoning it has. Okay, and the persona is of a CEO. That means for a CEO, then they are having a certain preferences as per their persona. So that is all there. Now, if there is no history also, history is there, that is good to make a decision. If there is no history also, then you say, okay, these are the CEO class hotels and they are in this area because it will now try to reason, okay, this areas in this hotel are good, like that. So all this reasoning and this prompts have to be designed by the product manager. That reasoning and that thinking has to be done. So then the agent can be designed based on that thinking, right? The developer cannot do all that thinking. The product manager has to do that thing. The developer will just connect the dots and make the agent. The the critical thinking has to be done by the product manager. Clear?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay, now let's shift our focus from product to technical side, right? So engineering AI systems is at the heart of making AI real. No, we are turning ideas and models into products. that can work reliably in the real world. What are these roles doing? They're blending deep technical expertise with practical problem solving, and they're essential for every organization. Every organization that is which is looking to leverage AI at scale. Okay, what are these roles? AI ML engineer, first thing. They are the builders. They design, develop, and deploy machine learning systems. And I know these systems power real products. What do they work in? Their work is combining data science. Now, what is data science? Like model selection and training with software engineering, right? So once they do that, they ensure that the AI solutions are robust, scalable, and maintainable. Next, we have the data engineers or the big data engineers. See, as you can understand, data is a fuel for AI. Data engineers create the pipelines and storage systems which deliver the high quality, timely data for both AI and analytics. Right? They can ensure that data flows smoothly from source to model, source of the data to the model. Basically, the data is ingested properly, transformed, and stored. So that is the data engineer. Right? Now you have the AI research scientist. Uh, so what do they do, research scientists? For example, in my lab here, uh, I'm also a research scientist at IIT Bombay. So what we are doing is we are building computer vision models. And what we're doing is basically doing research, core research on how the models are working. So we are exploring new models, algorithms, and pushing them into out of our research back lab, sometimes into the real world, right? So basically, research work will develop the new algorithms, architectures, and work with the product teams around that. So this innovation becomes the building block for new AI products and features, right? So that's a research scientist. Every company has a research scientist. Google has research scientists and so forth. And research scientists are also there in academic institutions. Now, what is NLP, computer vision, or robotics? They are specialists, right? Some engineers will focus on specific things like natural language processing, computer vision, like I mentioned earlier, or robotics. So the domains are completely different, but the foundations of maths, statistics, and probability, they are the very same. So what are the core skills required here? You programming languages like Python, machine learning with machine learning library like scikit-learn and TensorFlow, PyTorch, data processing tools, all these things. The cloud platforms are also very important. Cloud platforms like Google, Azure, or Amazon. We need to manage AI systems in production. Uh, now we have DevOps. Now there are some DevOps engineers here, right? In the chat we learned. But when you are doing translation to ML, machine learning, you have to learn even as a DevOps engineer, you have to learn ML ops practice. Any model is continuously integrated, automatically tested, and deployed and monitored. So these are ML ops techniques. Like it's like DevOps, but it's for machine learning. And the life cycle is a little different. For code, you have to just compile, test, and deploy. So that is, but ML is different because you have to the testing cycle is different, right? You have to develop, understand the model changed, with what the accuracy is, and you can have different versions of the same model as well, and different clients may be on different models at the same time. So all these things has to be understood. Uh, so that you have to adopt your DevOps practice to MLOps. Okay. So now you understand where you are from. You have to ponder yourself. Are you getting more drawn to building models, designing data infrastructure, or exploring new frontiers in AI research? Like there are some undergrad students here. Uh, so you can understand uh, from this. So try to ponder about it, right? And with that, we can take any question we have before we go ahead.
No questions, sir.
Right. Now, let's shift our focus on understanding how AI is transforming business roles. We've understood product and we've understood about tech. Now we have to understand those business roles centered on decision making and decision intelligence and analytics, decision making and analytics. So in today's world, uh, for organizations, the value of data goes far beyond creating any kind of static report. It's about enabling smarter and faster decisions from data, and these decisions need to drive real outcomes, some kind of outcome, right? Some strategy decision. So, what are the key careers here? You have a data scientist, right? So, these data scientists will turn the data into actionable insights and predictive models. So, their work involves doing this actionable intelligence from data. So, their work will inform the product development, operation strategies, and high level business decisions. Then you have the business intelligence developer or business intelligence analyst. So these or BI developer. So these were roles were focused on building some dashboards and periodic summaries. So now with AI, these roles is about enhancing the generation of insights and forecasting it. So then that organization can help you anticipate the trends and respond proactively. Right? Now you have some business analysts who are AI focused. So you have analysts and strategists. They are AI focused. What does this group do? They are using AI tools to explore some scenarios, business scenarios, and to segment customers into various compartments and take some high risk decisions in pricing, risk management, and growth strategies. So they are basically like technically savvy, AI savvy business people, and they are using AI to help take decisions at a very strategic level. Right? So these are the analysts and strategists. So as you can see, the shift is happening now. So business roles are evolving from producing reports to designing decision support systems. So these systems are being designed which can support decisions for the company. So what do these systems consist of? They're combining data models in business context. Data models in business context to guide actions, not just describe what happened. So you have to describe action, what goes on. This has to be done. So we need to integrate, our AI workflows. Uh, sorry, AI analysis or AI outputs into the workflow of the company. So then your basically your insights become actionable. Whatever insights you get from data become actionable, they're part of your workflow. Right. So what are the key skills here required? So you need to understand what data is. You have to interpret and communicate data. That is very foundational. What is data? Data sits in various places in organization. It could be in Excel sheets, in a database, it's all your email, and all this has to be crunched and made sense of by various people here in various different ways. You have the analysts and strategies, you have the business developer, business intelligence developer, right? And you have the data scientist. So this is a stack. So basically, these strategists and analysts they will use all the intelligence, the tools and data intelligence provided by the data scientist and the business intelligence developer, and they have their own tools along with that, and they will drive them also, and they will be able to take strategic decisions. So the data is very compelling, very, very powerful. And what is the other skill? Experimental thinking. You need to design some experiments with your data. So what happens if this happens, right? So you can have a thought experiment and you can play around with the data, just create some synthetic data, and you can then understand that if this were to happen, what would happen? That is experimental thinking. Then you must be able to tell the board members the story behind this data with visuals and numbers, right? This is effective. How do you communicate this? You have to tell that, right? And then you have to embed all the decision making, recommendations, predictions into the business process. So that is very key. Okay. So all the data we create, we crunch it, we make it make actionable items out of it, create it into a workflow, and you are able to think in this way. So that is the decision intelligence and analytics in your business. Okay. So now you need to think, those of you who are in the business world, are you still focused on creating reports or in moving towards intelligence systems that support real-time decisions? So that is what you need to think about. I did notice there was somebody with MBA, there was a business analyst, there were people around that. So this is for them, right? And not only for them, it's for everybody because people may transition to roles. And you, even if you don't, are you not in the role, you need to understand each other's roles also. So it's very important for everybody here. Any questions so far?
Yes, one question is there.
Yeah.
Let's take it. I am a student and I want to start career. What you will suggest me? So he has a small coding experience, and
Mhm.
from I can start. I have a small coding experience.
You have some coding experience.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, first of all, you have to decide which track you have to take. No, you have to become an ML engineer. You have to become a product role or a business role, right? Accordingly, you have to decide. If you're a student of engineering, like coding, it seems you're an engineering student. So some engineering students they take the role of an ML scientist, I mean ML engineer, AI engineer. Then you have to do all the learning around code and also around AI, and then try to develop some systems which make sense in your university. First of all, find a project which makes sense. First of all, do the learning in terms of conceptualizing, understanding, using your college learning as well as open source learning. Learning materials are available to you, and Deepali can also guide you in terms of what learnings can be provided. Uh, Once you have had some learning around it in its from a theoretical way, try to build a system conceptual in nature which solves some real world problem. It could be in your environment or something you can conceptualize. Try to build it in code um, and make that live. Then try to get some feedback about it from your friend circle. Once you do this exercise, it will help you to understand what systems are capable of if you try to tailor it to a particular use case. Right? Now, the system, what you develop could be anything you want, right? It could be some kind of intelligent agent which does some kind of decision making around what the problem you are having here. For example, you're a student, so you can go to the university and try to find a problem in the university's management, which can be solved by automation. And try to create a system around that. It need not be a completely fully functional system, but it will help you to understand how systems are built like that. So then you'll have something in your resume to talk about when you go for a job interview. And so if you're able to understand real world problems and answer real world questions, you will be able to get into the real world, right? So first thing you'll have to probably do is get into an internship. The way to get into an internship will be to do the college projects. Once you have done an internship, then you are eligible to do a job because you have worked on real world problems in internship. So that's how you have to sort of manage your career. I hope that helps, right? Hmm.
Yes, sir, it was very clear. One more question. How can a mobile app developer with 14 years of experience grow into an AI focused career?
Okay. So now a mobile app is a valuable skill that has a lot of relevance in the world. But now when it comes to AI, you see the AI can help you to develop a code faster, better, but it can also become a pitfall for you if you become dependent on it. Because you have 14 years with experience, you exactly know what the pitfalls are, right? So, for example, if you could use a code generator to develop some code, boilerplate code, you have to learn how to intelligently do that so that you can develop a mobile app relatively quickly. So there are a lot of no code, low code platforms which can develop an application without any code. But here we are talking about developing code, an application from code. So you use a code generator platform like Codex or Cloud Code or a complete system like Caster or Replit, and basically learn it so that you can develop boilerplate code and then intelligently develop the prompts which can make your life faster. But don't depend on the AI. You can develop code faster. That's one thing, right? Second thing, don't depend on the machine to give you anything useful other than suggestions, right? For example, if I'm trying to write a story, I can look into dictionary for suggestions, right? And but the words choice will has to be mine. Similarly, when you're writing code, you can take some suggestions for faster, but don't take any suggestion blindly because you now by now you are intelligent enough to understand that this is rubbish, this is good, this is what I take out of that. So that can be used, but how to do where your intelligence has to be used, your experience has to be used, right? Secondly, you can use the coding platforms to check the code quality of other people and your own work also, and give suggestions. You can work faster if you work intelligently. So like that, you can make use of AI. What else can you do? For a mobile developer, you can use AI to create some designs, right? The UI UX prototypes can be created. So then there's a something to ideate about, and then to brainstorm and come up with the right thing, not to do it blindly as such like that. So AI can accelerate your work journey, and this is something you have to do because it will be the demand of the hour. Wherever you go for a job, people will expect that you work in a particular way. So you have to do that kind of tooling. You have to be familiar with all the tools around it, right? And adapt to the situation, right? It may be a situation somebody says that I don't want to use to you to use any of the AI accelerators, but I want it done by longhand. So that's fine then. That's fine. But at least you are aware about that. Uh, but most places will tell you that I want the work done in the fastest possible route with no bugs, right? So you have to know that how AI will help you with do that. Okay, is that helpful?
Yes, sir. In the chat box, he has replied. It is cleared.
Okay, good. Okay. Why am I not able to see the chart actually
Uh,
set up that way?
no, no, sir. I have enabled for both host and co-host. I am not sure why it is not visible.
No, it's not actually. Once I go
Actually,
there,
they are while they are sending the message, they are just choosing my name. That's why I am only able to say it.
acha, acha,
Yeah,
acha, acha. Okay, no worries. That's fine. Your reading is fine. It's better actually, but
yeah,
I'm not able to read. That's just fine. Okay, just give me a minute.
sure, sir.
Okay, so what are agent-driven systems? We already discussed it, right? But just to recap, so so AI shifting business roles, those centered on decision making and analytics, right? In today's organizations, the value of data goes beyond creating static reports. It's about enabling smarter, faster decisions that drive real outcomes. Oh, no, what am I saying here? This is no, I'm sorry, I was in a previous slide. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is just about agentic systems, and we discussed this already, isn't it? So what are agent-driven systems? They use AI agents. They have context. They have inputs. They plan. They perceive, and they adapt. Um, Compared to static pipelines, agents can choose between multiple options, and they can be orchestrated in intelligent way by connecting them with external APIs and learning from the feedback. So if you have a product role, then this changes how your products, the features are designed, like we discussed earlier. Guardrails are there for agents that don't do this. For example, if the plane ticket is instead of 5,000 rupees, it is 25,000 rupees, then drop it. Don't do it. So any kind of guardrail which is around expenses or ethics, that line should not be crossed, but that is the responsibility of the product manager to provide the prompts around or the data around that. What is a AI assistant? Can coordinate multiple internal systems. Multiple agent workflows can handle complex cases and autonomous optimization loops. Right now, the agents we discussed right now were about one agent. Now, if you have multiple agents, right? For example, you have HR agent, recruitment agent, and a travel booking agent. So we discussed those independently. But now the task is to get the person who has to be recruited into the interview. That means you have to send him the plane ticket also, right? So the persona of the person who's not yet an employee will be maybe that, okay, we have to send him economy ticket. You have to book him an economy hotel, but it has to be nearby the organization where he's coming. And so the agent will go ahead and make that booking. Uh, it may not be set up to take a whole lot of approval from the person, the employee who's being booked for, but in terms of the approvals, but it has to still get an approval that are you available on this date to travel and all that stuff, that approval has to be taken. So now that orchestration between these two agents has to happen. So that also has to be set up. That so that becomes the assistant, which is orchestrating these two agents. So then, of course, you can design a system which orchestrates one agent, two agents, three agents, multiple agents. You have to set the constraints, objectives, and boundaries around that. That's agent-driven systems, right? That's understandable, right? Understandable. Okay. Now, this is about engineering for reliability, validation, and safety. Now, once you have an AI system and with traditional software engineering, what is the difference? Now, you still need to have the same rigor, no? You have to do the software testing, monitoring, rollback strategies in case of any kind of breakage. And any incident happens, you have to handle it. For example, a service ticket or system downtime, right? So, but now it's not about accuracy. When you are having a system, a machine learning system, it's just not about being accurate. Uh, you may be 99% accurate, but are you fair? Are you up all the time? I mean, this is robust. Is the system foolproof? Fairness is in terms of ethics. Is it fair enough? Is it secure enough? And can it perform it in the real world? Now, what is this fairness? Okay, so now you have a HR agent. Now you have designed your prompt in such a way that you get good candidates. But if you have designed the prompt in such a way to exclude, say, the gender, which you don't want, right? Then it's not fair, right? So then it will go beyond the validation, right? Let me give you an example. I posted on LinkedIn once last week a job requirement from my organization, and for that job, I needed a female candidate because I thought that the role demands a female candidate. Okay, but the agent which is running on LinkedIn, it flagged it that you cannot have a gender bias in hiring. So my job was taken off. Right? So that means when you are having an HR recruitment agent, it has to be designed by the product manager for fairness, and this fairness has to be implemented by the engineering team, right? Now, data quality is basically once you have data pipeline, you are ingesting the data. That means you have to clean the data properly. You have to remove any incomplete data, any blank or any incomplete data, or you have to check the validations of the data that is uh, not invalid, right? You could have numbers which are out of the ordinary. For example, if somebody puts height as 27 feet, now if you accept that height, when you're doing average, everybody's height will become 12 feet, for example. So that means just one data point is going to mess up all your data. So that means that has to be identified and deleted, no? Because that data is not right. So like that, the data quality is very important. Then all the models have to be versioned. That is under ML ops. The prompts you're using have to be versioned because you see it's evolving. Now when the code is something, prompts is something which is helping you to design your system. That means the prompts have to be versioned. The human sentences you type in your human language are your prompts, but that's actually code for the system. So there also has to be version, right? And then you can do some controlled experimentation also around your pipelines. Now, for reliability to occur, you have to have clear SLAs, service level agreements, right? That this will perform up to this level of accuracy. This is the ethics to follow. Uh, this is the guardrail to follow. Guardrail that it will not try to do some kind of slang. It will not try to talk nonsense. All those things will be there, and the system will be up so much of time, like that. Uh, Anything which is of high risk has to have human in the loop. Human oversight has to be there. So like that, you have to design the system. So you have to. So all these things are there, right? Then you have to. AI behavior has to be logged and observed, and you have to work with the governance and compliance teams. Governance is about following a proper ethics. The engineer has to engineer those ethics. So that means you have to ensure that the systems are really working properly as designed, essentially. Reliability, validation, and safety. Okay. All right. With that, we'll go ahead to the next slide. Any questions, let me know, then I'll stop.
No, sir, no questions still.
Okay. So, business intelligence. We spoke about decision intelligence, business intelligence. So, business intelligence was focused earlier on reports using static dashboards and summaries. But this was understandable, useful for understanding performances of the company. But you have to leaves a gap between understanding and insight and action. So AI is transforming this landscape where you are enabled to take decisions, like helping organizations move from simply reporting to actively shaping the future. So this is what professionals need to understand: data, insights, action, and feedback. And this is how you have to tailor your work around. Uh, so what is the key points here? From reporting to decision intelligence. Decision intelligence is about integrating predictions, simulations, and scenarios, analysis of scenarios into daily decisions. So you have predictions, simulations. So basically, you can predict something based on data, or you can simulate based on some created data. And then you can have a what if analysis. What if this happens? What if this happens? So you can do all this number crunching, come up with some analysis, right? Now, if this is done instead of just summarizing the data. So AI can just try to answer what should we do next. So I had a project in my past some project I had in my organization where I was working. It's about that lot of manpower around certain tasks, which were some of them were automated, something was manual. So in this, I ran a simulation about predicting how much manpower I'm going to need based on the growth of the technology, and that has helped to take the decision around how many people are required and what kind of technology is required at what accuracy. So that's a what if analysis, prediction, scenarios, all these things are very useful. So what are some practical applications? Uh, so for a business, you have you have leads. When you are having a business, you have something called leads. Leads are something which is leading towards your new business, some inquiries, and then has to be prioritized because suppose you have 20 leads in a particular day and you cannot handle them. So AI will analyze the leads and prioritize them. Uh, that is some practical application of the intelligence. So it's like companies are really using AI to drive decisions, not just theoretical. So now this profession, as a professional, you need to understand here on this slide. Is there a way to use a pointer? Let me see. How to use a pointer? Annotation.
Sorry, sir, what you need?
Pointer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the decision loop? Data gives you insights, gives you actions and feedback from that action. This is a loop. So this you can meaningfully improve each step here. That is useful. That is what the role is actually. What does that mean? So from report production, you are moving to decision support experiences. So the idea is to embed your decision making systems directly into your products and processes. So these insights are immediately actionable. So those who are into business, like those who are doing MBA, or they need to understand: are you enabling yourself to think about those skills, which will help you to do this, right? Towards designing systems that support real time decisions. That's what you need to think about. Any questions so far?
Yes, sir. One question is that can fresher apply for AI engineer role, or they need some 1 or 2 years of experience?
See, if you have a very good university which has given you very good theoretical background and you have done some projects in that area in your college, yes, definitely you can apply. Otherwise, if your university education has not given you the background, then you need to do some coursework on your own using online platforms. Understand the theoretical concepts and do your projects, and then you might then of course need to do an internship before you apply for the full-time roles, right? But that is something, a path ahead for you. It's clear path. Okay, I hope that helps, right?
Yes, sir. One more question is there. I hope now you are able to see the chat.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. Should a software engineer change his or her career into AI developer?
uh yes and
As
no. See,
yeah,
AI is going to be there no matter what you do. So if you're totally ignorant of AI, you will not be able to succeed as a software engineer, right? Now, your job function may be a software engineer, but you have to use AI tooling. You have to be aware of everything around AI. You have to use tooling effectively to be effective. Now, of course, when you are a software engineer, most of the systems will be around designing an AI system. So then you have to not only be aware of using AI tooling to design your code, but also designing an AI system using available AI infrastructure. For example, if you are building an agentic system, you have to know how to use an LLM effectively uh, into your code. The way you interact with the LLM using your code, and way you interact and create an agent using agentic frameworks, right? Like LangChain and so on and so forth. So all these things you have to take into account. when you are a software engineer. The field is not going to be the same as it used to be. No, that has changed. Okay.
Yes,
Any
sir.
other questions?
Sir, yes, there are a lot of questions. So, can we just take it after the session?
Yeah, sure. How much are you doing on time? So we have about half an hour. I think we can go up to 2 hours, no? The
Yeah,
session. Let's try to complete this, say, in the next 15 minutes, the
yeah,
slides. Then we'll have 15 minutes for answering other questions, right?
yes, sir.
So what is governance? So governance and trust. So basically as career skills. Now this is supposed to be for agnostic of all product and tech and business professionals. So you have to create an AI system which has trust, right? Trust is built when users and stakeholders can understand system behavior, right? Trust influences decisions. Basically, AI system influence decisions. That means everything you do around this AI is around policies, ethics. Uh, so what we are saying is, see, this is true for any system actually. But once you're AI, the risk is very high that your system can do something which is unethical, immoral, or illegal. So all these things have to be built in the governance of the AI. So let's take a very simple example. Know about Grok. Grok is the AI system from X, formerly Twitter, and they have trained it on the Twitter or X data sets. So what happened that Grok started making slang, talking in slang, profanities. It's been trained on that, no? So it starts talking profanities. That's a governance issue. Who's responsible for that? Ultimately, the CEO, Elon Musk, right? Of that should not happen. That's a breakage of trust, right? And another issue there was around the image generation. It was doing unethical image generation and morphing. So these kind of governance has to be handled because ultimately the creator is responsible. The business is responsible for such things. All product tech and business professionals, they must have hand in governance. The product should define the governance. The tech should build it, and the business has to set the clear expectations to product that this is how it should be. Any incident happens, it has to be handled proactively because no matter what you do, systems can break. Right? Now, X would have had its governance framework, but it broke, right? So ultimately, they will have to fix it, or they have to set a policy that we tolerate this way. We are fine with this, right? If the system is set up that okay, I'm okay to tolerate this slang, then it's fine. It's not really fine, but you're breaking the trust of people in you, right? Now, a lot of people will lead your platform because this is not how we want the system to be. The system has to be defined as per government policies, be ethical, fair, and morally right, and not do anything illegal. And it has to be within the parameters of the business policies. It may be ethically right, but this is not my policy to do this, no? Because that is not my policy. My business is not going to do this. That is what the business has to say. This is my policy. Whether it's ethically, morally right, I don't care, but this is my policy. So please follow that. Because this has to be followed by everybody, right? Okay, what are some of the practical skills across uh, product, tech, and business? So you have to understand, you have to create a solid understanding of AI and machine learning concepts. Now, you may know them very well for an engineer, but at a product level, also you have to understand what they are. Business level has to understand what supervised, unsupervised learning is, reinforcement learning, and when each of these is appropriate. So this foundational literacy is critical. Even if you're not building the models yourself, you have to start with the foundation. That is has to be clear. Those in engineering or data roles, they have to understand the ML frameworks like TensorFlow or PyTorch, right? Cloud tools are very important for deployment and scaling AI solutions. Cloud tools are like Amazon, Azure, or Google. So that's very important. Data is the backbone. So skills in data modeling, data quality, familiarity with data, big data technologies, and streaming is valuable. Even if you're not a data engineer, how understanding how data flows will help you understand and collaborate effectively. So product manager and business managers, they need to excel at problem framing, defining the right questions to solve with AI. Unless you know what AI can do, you wouldn't know how to solve it, right? That's why you need to know about AI, what kind of problems it can solve. So the skills are involved in designing the metrics, designing what metrics to AI will look at, running some experiments and creating some prompts and agent workflows. Understanding this is very important for a business or a product person. And then you have to communicate the trade-offs decisions to both the technical and non-technical stakeholders. So as you can see, the product and business also has to understand thoroughly the AI, not at a mathematical level, but at a conceptual level and at an application level. And the technical people need to understand more deeply at the API level, at the mathematical level, at the tool level. Right? And everybody has to know about governance, like we spoke about, literacy in common governance, explainability, evaluation, compliance, ethics, morality, all these things everybody has to know about. So reflect now deeply, reflect on your own skills and where you are and what you need to develop. Remind yourself, think that AI is a team sport. You have to do cross-functional collaboration and understand each layer. And this will help you to work more effectively with others. Right? Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that you need to work on real projects here. Some foundations from whatever foundations you build now. So whatever foundations you have, you need to build it, and then you have to work on real projects around this space, right? You don't have to have a PhD around this to contribute to AI systems, but you need to have solid foundations, no matter that about that, right? You have to have evidence of some applied skills. That means you have to apply it. You know something and you applied it. You need to have evidence of that. Employers need to know what you can do, not just what you know, right? Right? Let me repeat that. They need to know what you can do, not just what you know. That's why your learning path matters, right? You need to have a structured learning path and some skills as well as a way to apply them in your careers. Basically, what I'm saying is you have to have a combination of conceptual understanding and hands-on experience. So that means hands-on labs, guided projects, portfolio building work. These are something you have to think about. You have to develop this actively, right? So hands-on lab practice on hands-on labs, coding exercises as relevant to your job roles, or work with those who are hands-on job roles to develop the product, or work on business side of it to make products effectively. So all these things can be a hands-on exercise in teams, right? So you can form, say, in your university, if those are students learn to practice business side, product side as and technical side by switching roles, so that you learn this. So form a team of three, and then you practice this by alternating the roles. Take the role of engineer, product manager, and business owner, and then practice it by following the process around it, and then switch the roles. Like that, keep practicing, and you will be able to understand by this role play how these things are working. Right? Then in the portfolio, what you do is you document your projects. This project you have built in the college, you share it on the GitHub. Even if it's a college project, check it into GitHub. That will build your portfolio. You can build a personal website also which has that, right? So that is a proof that you have worked on this, no? Because you have a website, you have a GitHub where you have done the coding, you have documented it. So that means you're creating your own portfolio, and that will make you employable, right? So pretty much boot camps and nano degrees are a good way to learn because they'll give you immersive experience about the theoretical concepts, and they give you the experience of the project-based experience also, also, right? Now you have career-oriented certificate programs, and they can bundle with the job search support and everything. Also, those kind of platforms are also there. Right. So that's how you can reflect where you are, and you can get the support from Dipali also if you need to help around what that can be arranged. And So with that, we'll move ahead. Uh, so what are some of the examples here? Examples of structured learning programs and resources. AI learning platforms can show AI engineer, ML engineer, data engineer, product-based programs, generative agentic AI teach how you build chatbots. So these are project-based systems. These are skill-based systems. And, data science tracks are core foundations, Python, data analysis, AI and product for business programs. They target hybrid roles, teaching how to define use cases, design experiments, and integrate AI into strategy. So like that, there is all these programs which can be made use of. Designing your personal AI roadmap. So I think this is mostly self-explanatory and not spend much time on it. So as a repetition also, you select the path you want, the program you want, create a structure for yourself, define the skills for yourself, learn, plan your feedback from your mentors, and learn and iteratively learn. So you're going to need some mentors, you need some peer groups, and some feedback, and some platform where you can get all the data. But essentially, you can do all this learning. Then you are all set. Okay, with that, there is this poll you can do. So you look at your desired role, and then what drives you to pursue your desired role? Can you just type here? So, say for example, my role is of a business analyst. So, why do you want to do a business analyst role? This is basically to help us to think why. And once you do this analysis, you will be clearer in your head. So, please do that. And there's a second part to that. Another question is there after that. So, let's spend 2 minutes here on this. Okay, so everybody is motivated to pursue your role, right? A lot of motivation around this. Should we, Deepali, move on to the next question? So
Yes, you
the
can.
poll is, why do you want, so you are motivated, right, for this role, for your role in your mind. What are the skills you consider most crucial for your role? Type those skills here. That help us you think, help you to think where you are.
The
You have enough
skills
motivation.
can be soft skills as well as hard skills, both.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Okay, so many skills are coming up here. See, and those are specific to your role. The kinds of skills that some of them are agnostic of the role. Uh, Communication has the highest strength in word cloud and attention to detail, what we're seeing here. And and there are specific things here around cloud code, LLM, data analysis, storytelling, visualization, stakeholder management, continuous learning. So it's a wide variety of skills, and that's the skills. Some of these skills is what you need to build, and not only these, but also what we mentioned. These are in alignment with what we mentioned. So that's good. So with that, let's go on to the last slide and then open the forum for questions. So what is happening is AI is changing how products are built, how systems are engineered, how decisions are made across every industry. It's not a technology shift, it's a transformation how we work and what skills are most valuable, right? So what skills are most valuable is changing. So that's the most important thing to learn from this. We are going beyond automation. Success now means beyond simple automation. It's about understanding intelligent orchestration, agent-driven systems, and full life cycle of AI in production. Those professionals who can design, build, and govern these systems will be the ones who shape the future. There is a lot of skills required across roles. Whether you're in a product, technology, or business, practical AI literacy is essential. You have to be literate about AI. It's not enough on its own. You AI is not enough on its own, right? Although you need to be AI literate, AI is not enough on its own. You have to be having domain specific skills in your field, like decision making, engineering, or strategy, right? Earlier, it was asked, I'm a software engineer. Do I need to become an AI engineer? No, you have to become AI-enabled software engineer. So you have to have your software engineering skills. Your engineering skills are there here, which are required. So the combination of AI, the knowledge about AI, and the domain expertise is what will be your differentiator, right? Uh, Governance and trust are not optional. They are the core responsibilities of senior roles. So you have to learn and think about risk and ensure transparency. Otherwise, you'll fail as a leader. Right? So, what is the advantage you can get from which you can build for yourself? So, you can combine practical AI skills with your current strengths, and then make a portfolio that proves that you have the skills. We discussed about digital repository, personal repo. Uh, Similarly, you can have a way to create a portfolio for product managers and for business people the way you want to do it. So then the employees and collaborators will see how you want to, how you are, what you can are capable of, not just what you're saying you are capable of. So you should reflect on your key skills and identify what you want to grow. We had the exercise, but I would encourage you to keep on doing this exercise. First of all, decide where you want to go into engineering, product design, or business leadership. Pick one, and then decide the skills you want to do. This may not happen immediately, like right today, but this is a journey you have to start. Then pick up a learning path and a project path, and then document your progress and share your results with the world. That's how you build your credibility and confidence, right? And just stay curious to your environment because the landscape is very quickly changing. AI is evolving very, very fast. So you have to be quick and adapt to stay ahead of the curve. Remember, the future belongs to those who combine AI skills and domain expertise, and you can demonstrate it also in the real world, right? All right. Thank you for your engagement and curiosity. Now I'm open up to questions for you. Right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vikram, sir, for sharing such clear and practical insight with us today. And it also offered a very clear and practical view on how AI is changing the career path and evolving various domains and roles. And also, you have provided very valuable guidance on a detailed learning path, which you have shared on also the roadmap on how to prepare for these changes going forward. Also, I would like to thank all the participants for taking their timing and joining with us today and for their active participation and engagement throughout the session. Also, before we conclude, if anyone has any question, they can feel free to raise your hand. I'll be happy to unmute you and you can directly ask question to Vikram sir. Or else you can
Okay.
also text
Type
in
in
the
the
chat
chat box.
box. Yeah.
Yeah, we
In
have 10
the
minutes more we can utilize. Yeah.
Sir, in the chat box, there are few questions. We can take that.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
How
Tell me which one is
industry,
to take.
how industrial and management engineer could benefit from that? I don't know the context.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, so industrial engineer is about supply chain management, workflow studies, um, you know, plant and layout handling, ergonomics. Management engineer is management science applied to say industrial engineering as well as other allied fields around general management, human resource management, uh, financial management. So you see, all these systems are systems that can AI systems can be built around that. But what you have to understand is that you have to understand AI, and then you have to be very good in your domain. You have to have a domain expertise. Then you have to have an understanding about AI, thorough understanding about conceptual AI. Then you can help to design the systems around it. Okay. Next question.
Yeah, one more question is there. Transitioning from software development to artificial intelligence specific career, how can this be achieved from software development
Okay.
to AI?
Yeah. So Tarun, how many experience you have? So I'm thinking that you may be experienced, right? Because you're transitioning from software development. So
2.5
see
years.
all your skills, huh? How many?
2.5.
So it's experience is there. Now you have a solid experience, right? 2.5 years is not small. So this experience is something called domain expertise, right? Is about writing code, following the SDLC. Now, what you have to understand is that now you have to do the skills in the domain of AI, in the sense in the environment of AI. So you have to adapt there because you have to learn the specific skills of software engineering, which is now AI enabled. So there's two things you have to do. Two kinds of things. First of all, using AI tooling, you can do your work faster. Like for example, code writing tools that will help you to write your code faster. You can check the quality better. That is one thing. Another thing is you have to do the specific AI kind of development, like agentic development, development using AI, LLM development. So this thing you have to upskill yourself. So then you can transition. But for this, you have to have a solid understanding of AI, and you have to upgrade your skill set around this area also. So both theoretical and practical skills you have to do. Okay. Hopefully that is understandable.
Yes, sir. No more questions. I guess we can end the session. Thank you so much, Vikram sir, and thank you so much all the participants for joining us till the end. We
Now there
hope
is one more
this.
question. Guardrail equal to validations.
Yeah.
Guardrail is a boundary. See, guardrail is something, for example, there was a case, ChatGPT, that one young boy under 18, he has committed is a kind of horrible thing, no?
Uh,
Now,
sir, sir, your voice dropped in between.
hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that is a kind of horrible thing. The guardrail did not work. What happens is that during long contexts, the LLM is losing the context and dropping the guardrail. It happened. So basically, the chat GPT itself helped how to commit suicide, how to write a suicide note, all these things. It was helping the boy to commit suicide. But now, if you ask any and long context, it's why if I become a friend, if I develop a long friendship with the chat, in long chats, after some time the guardrail may not work. That was happened in chat GPT case. So that guardrail is not a validation, it's your boundary that beyond this, I don't want to go into those use cases. That's a guardrail, right? Uh, this is something I cannot do. Uh, I, for example, I can a terrorist can access ChatGPT, ask how can I plan a bomb blast. So there has to be guardrail that it should not do that. I should not answer that question only. I can do only ethical things. I do not do any boundary violations. So all your systems have been designed as per a guardrail, as per a boundary. It's not a simple validation. It's the boundary of your application that beyond this is not something I can do. So you have to design that guardrail. I hope that is clear now with the help of this example. Okay. Any other question? Let's see here. Should a should a software engineer change career into software AI developer? I answered that, no? Okay.
Yeah. This you have answered, sir.
Yeah. Industrial management, transitioning, soft skills, communication, and understanding. I don't know what the question is there. Data analysis in Excel. I don't know what that is. There's not
Uh,
a question there.
no, sir. No more questions left.
Okay, so I think you can fill the feedback form and then feel free to disconnect after that. Please do fill the feedback form because that helps us to improve these
We'll
sessions.
also share the feedback form and all the resources along with the recording to you by tomorrow.
Huh, huh.
Yeah.
The
Thank you so
feedback
much.
form is there, no? Dipali on
Yes,
the
sir.
chat.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We have sent a feedback form in the chat box. We'll also forward in our WhatsApp group as well.
Oh, there's a WhatsApp group for this. Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. Okay, so that's good then. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate your listening so patiently to me. Please feel free to connect with me also personally if you want any kind of personal guidance. I'm happy to help. Right? You can connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll be available over there. My name is Vikram Bansal. I am the CAIO for Tekolutions.ai. So you can easily find me on LinkedIn. Okay. Dipali, should we disconnect this call now?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Bye bye.